James Edwin Gunn is an American science fiction writer, editor, scholar, and anthologist. His work as an editor of anthologies includes the 6-volume Road to Science Fiction series. He won the Hugo Award for Best Related Work in 1983, and he has won or been nominated for several other awards for his non-fiction works in the field of science fiction studies. The Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America made him its 24th headmaster in 2007, and he was inducted by the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame in 2015. Gunn is a professor emeritus of English and the founding director of the Center for the Study of Science Fiction, both at the University of Kansas. Biography. Gunn served in the U.S. Navy during World War II, after which he attended the University of Kansas, earning a Bachelor of Science in Journalism in 1947 and a Master's of Arts in English in 1951. Gunn went on to become a faculty member of the University of Kansas, where he served as the university's Director of Public Relations and is a professor of English, specializing in science fiction and fiction writing. He is now a professor emeritus and director of the Center for the Study of Science Fiction, which awards the annual John W. Campbell Memorial Award for Best Novel and the Theodore Sturgeon Memorial Award at the Campbell Conference in Lawrence, Kansas, every summer. He served as president of the Science Fiction Writers of America from 1971–1972 and was president of the Science Fiction Research Association from 1980 to 1982. SFWA honored him as a headmaster of science fiction in 2007. On June 12, 2015, Locus announced the selection of Gunn and 4 others for induction into the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame, along with a lightning-fast fundraiser to cover travel expenses so he can attend the June 27, 2015 induction ceremony in Seattle. Writing. Gunn began his career as a science fiction writer in 1949, making his first short story sale to Thrilling Wonder Stories. He has had almost 100 stories published in magazines and anthologies and has written 28 books and edited 10. Many of his stories and books have been reprinted around the world. From 1949 to 1952, Gunn wrote 10 short stories published as by Edwin James, a pseudonym derived from his full name. The first 2 in print, Communication and Paradox, were published in September and October 1949 by editor Sam Merwin in Startling Stories and Thrilling Wonder Stories. His novels were first published by Gnome Press in 1955, Starbridge, written by Gunn and Jack Williamson, and This Fortress World. Scribner's published Gunn's novel The Listeners in 1972, and it was runner-up for the first annual John W. Campbell Memorial Award for Best Science Fiction Novel. Carl Sagan called it one of the very best fictional portrayals of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence ever written. Quote, according to the publisher of a 2004 edition, this book predicted and inspired the creation of the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, the organization dedicated to the search for extraterrestrial life. In 1996, Gunn wrote a novelization of The Joy Machine, an unproduced episode of Star Trek scripted by Theodore Sturgeon. Adaptations. His stories also have been adapted into radio plays and teleplays. NBC Radio's X-1 Cave of Night, February 1, 1956. DeSillo Playhouse's 1959 Man in Orbit based on Gunn's The Cave of Night. ABC TV's Movie of the Week, The Immortal, and an hour-long television series The Immortal in 1970, based on Gunn's The Immortals. An episode of the USSR science fiction TV series This Fantastic Jurassic World, filmed in 1989 and entitled Psychodynamics of the Witchcraft, was based on James Gunn's 1953 story Wherever You May Be. Mystery drama If the Bride is a Witch based on Wherever You May Be. Selected works: fiction Starbridge, Gunn and Jack Williamson. This Fortress World, Station in Space, Stories. The Joy Makers, Future Imperfect, Stories. The Immortals, 4 stories, revised and expanded ed. Comprising 5 stories, Pocket Books, 2004. The Immortal, novelization from the TV series The Immortal. The Witching Hour, Stories, The Listener's Stories, October 1972 collection of 6 novelettes. 5 previously published. The computer runs between each story, average 8 pages long. Breaking Point, Stories. The Burning, Stories. Some Dreams and Nightmares, Stories. The End of the Dreams, Stories. The Magicians, expanded from a novella, Sign of the Magus. Campus, The Dreamers, Crisis, fix-up of 6 stories published 1978 to 1985. The Millennium Blues, Human Voices, Gift from the Stars, Transcendental, Transgalactic, Non-Fiction Alternate Worlds, The Illustrated History of Science Fiction, ISBN 0891040498, winner of the Locus Award and Worldcon Special Award, Isaac Asimov, The Foundations of Science Fiction, revised ed. ISBN 0810831295, Hugo Award winner. The New Encyclopedia of Science Fiction, editor 0670810441X, Hugo finalist. The Science of Science Fiction Writing, ISBN 1558860113, reflects on the science fiction process and how to teach it. Speculations on Speculation, Theories of Science Fiction, by Matthew Candelaria and Gunn. Inside Science Fiction, Reading Science Fiction, by Gunn, Marlene S. Barr, and Matthew Candelaria. Science Fiction Imagines the Digital Future, Analog 131-7 in AMP, 8 pp. 98-103. Gunn's anthologies include The Road to Science Fiction, 6 volumes 1977-1998. The first 4 volumes, published by Mentor New American Library from 1977 to 1982, are organized chronologically and cover Gilgamesh to 1981 or Forever. The last 2 volumes, published by White Wolf Inc. in 1998, feature The British Way and Around the World Awards. 1976 Science Fiction Research Association Pilgrim Award for Lifetime Achievement in Science Fiction Scholarship. 1976 Worldcon Special Award for Alternate Worlds, The Illustrated History of Science Fiction. 1976 Locus Award for Associational Item Alternate Worlds, The Illustrated History of Science Fiction. 1983 Hugo Award for Best Non-Fiction Book, Isaac Asimov, The Foundations of Science Fiction. 2007 Damon Knight Memorial Grand Master Award for Lifetime Achievement in Science Fiction and Fantasy. 2015 inducted into the Science Fiction and Fantasy Hall of Fame. Gunn's 1972 novel The Listeners was runner-up for the 1973 Campbell Memorial Award.